We're going to come back to the chambers, and we'll ask Mr. Lorrin Pang for his comments this afternoon, and following Dr. Pang, Jerry Dameron.
Ready? Good afternoon. My name is Lorrin Pang. I speak as a private citizen. I am the Maui County health officer for the last 15 years, but I speak as a private citizen. Besides that, I am retired Army Medical Corps. I'm consultant for the World Health Organization for 25 years. In the last year, I've become a consultant to the U.S. Congress to review research proposals. I'm a professor of medicine at Federal University of Brasilia. And also, I am a consultant in the last year for an international organization developing drugs for neglected diseases. I forgot to focus on, I have a chemistry graduate with honors from Princeton. I wish to address the pesticide issue of this bill. I am for the bill. This is the first step to the disclosure in the correct regulation of GMO farming practices. My issue is not with the farmers. My grandfather was a duck farmer. I'm a backyard farmer. My issue is with the regulators, who we refer to as the all-encompassing guys who set the rules. Specifically, the pesticide issue I would like to address is the combinations. I'm not addressing yet the amount, but the combinations. Give you an example. 25 years ago, as a drug developer for treatment, we combined two very safe drugs, and we saw stuff qualitatively we never saw before. Next, bring it up to 4 years ago, published Scientific American, glyphosate, Roundup. That's pretty safe. When combined with a surfactant used to deliver it, which is alone is pretty safe, the combination has very stupendous, amazing effects, especially in the reproductive area. It's no wonder that people are in Argentina looking at perinatal problems. So, I am worried about the combinations. As a previous speaker, Dr. Ritter said, these things have not been looked at. 7 years ago, I went to West Kauai because the children were sick from a school. I asked about the combinations. Apparently, they were using about 40 or so. These are GMO companies. The EPA, your regulator, was there representing them. And I asked him, has anyone tested a combination? 2 of these 40 compounds being used. No answer. I asked him, do you believe that combinations should be tested in addition to the single compounds? All he said was, some of these single thresholds are 1,000th
2.5 minutes.
the health effect of the single. Well, then I showed him publications that sometimes 2 can potentiate the toxicity above 1,000, 7,000. So I rest my case. There was no further answers from your regulator, the EPA. So, how bad are these things? Let's put it in reference here. Sugarcane, pineapple, let's say 15 pesticides were used. How many combinations are there? Double, triple. It's about 30,000.
3 minutes.
45 compounds. I think that's what you use here. That's 30,000 times a billion. A billion. That's a billion times more likely to have these effects. Finally, I'd like to say, what is a combination? Sometimes you use them together. Sometimes you use them separately, but they persist in the environment. Sometimes they persist in the body. And the killer argument is sometimes they clear the body, but the effect they left, the damage, persists. That's a combination. Until these things are better studied, until the EPA can respond, I support the start of better regulation starts with disclosure. I think you will find once they disclose, you will be asking for a moratorium. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pang. Any questions for Mr. Pang on testimony he shared with us this afternoon? Ms. Cochran?
Sure. Thank you, and thank you, Dr. Pang, for being here. So, I've been hearing a lot of reference that there are no, I guess your answer about the EPA not having tested and having answers to your questions, I guess points to the fact that there are no, I guess, baseline studies and what have you. So, is there a way to get them to start this, or is that what you're saying, this is a good step in that direction, in this disclosure?
Okay, I gave testimony on a very similar bill in Kauai. And the question was, how shall we start with 1 billion times 30,000? That's 1 trillion combinations to test. The EPA says that's prohibitively expensive. It is. There are ways to do this. You can test the combination that you use once disclosed, the 45 compounds together. If nothing happens, like beef stew, that's a combination of chemicals, beef stew, nothing happens, I'll give you clearance. But until you accept that combinations, not you, but until one accepts that combinations are just as scary as single compounds, we're not even talking the same language. There's no question that they have not systematically tested even the double combination, let alone triple, quadruple. By the way, Kauai, when it came to presentation, they were claiming not 40 compounds, but 70 or 80, including not just RUP, those pesticides of restricted, but all the chemicals, like the surfactants. Do you have any idea how many combinations 80 compounds give you compared to 15? Not 6 times. It's 10 to the 23rd, more than the grains of sand in the beach, in the ocean, and in the deserts. You think this is rare? When I tell you some number is big, it's not like winning the lottery. It's the opposite. It's quite rare to be not impacted by severe toxic effects multiple times. There's no wonder that we're in this situation today.
Thank you. And one quick follow-up, Chair. Sir, that you mentioned glyphosate plus is exacerbated or whatever with surfactants or something. What is that word? Sorry, can you elaborate on
The
that?
word is surfactant. The acronym is POEA. It's a chemical which itself is not a pesticide, but it allows a penetration. Of course, there's synergistic toxicological effects.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Pang, for
Welcome.
being here.
Any other questions for Dr. Pang, members? Having none, Dr. Pang, thank you for your testimony this afternoon.